A couple more points on automation. If you want the automation you just created to go with your clips once you move or copy those, you can do that. There is a special toggle for that in the display, and it's right here. This is the one you need. Automation follows when clips are moved. So if I deselect that and I'll just grab the base and move it to the left, the automation stays where it is, right? But a lot of times you will want that to be checked because you want the automation to be moved with the clip. Like that. It now followed the clip, right? Works for copying just the same. If I just option drag the base part, I get the automation with it too. If I delete my base part, the automation is still there, which is a bit unfortunate maybe, but I can just select it, hit delete, and it's gone. All right? Now, how am I aware of automation once the lanes are closed? Well, actually, this is indicated by the little blue dots you find on parameters. It's also right here, and at the other side of the mixer, these blue dots will tell you there is volume automation. Well, in this case, volume because it's a volume fader, but of course it can be any parameter. See, if I go to the piano device panel, you'll see the little blue dot on the cutoff on the filter. That indicates that there is some automation for the cutoff somewhere in the arrangement. Now, of course, I can just move this wherever I want. It's not going to matter because the automation is going to pick it up at some point anyway. But what happens if I do this when the music is playing? Now you see that the blue dots have changed into green dots, and that indicates that the volume is more or less messed up, or at least it's not at the level that you would expect. So that blue dot is now turned green. Same in the big mixer, green dot. So how do we fix this? How do we restore our automation? Well, there's a clever button for that in the display. This one here, Restore Automation Control. If I click that, it fades out and all the green dots turn blue again to tell us that automation is working again. So I hope that part is all clear. There's one more way to get automation into your project, and that is of course by recording it. Well, it's not really recording, it's more writing, and I think we've very briefly gone over this when we discussed the transport. There's this button called Automation Write, and if I activate that, anything that I move, maybe a fader, a volume fader, or a mute button, or the sends on the mixer, or maybe the EQs or the levels on my compressor, etc. You know, I could have done the cutoff on the piano in real time. All that stuff can be written into the automation lanes in real time. And I'm going to give you an example. I think the levels of the bass and the piano are a bit off. I don't think the balance is really right. So I think I'll go ahead and actually write the levels in real time and let go at the point where I think there's a healthier balance. It's not needed to have the record arm buttons activated, but they'll be activated on the track you select anyway. So, but don't worry about that. It's not going to matter as long as I don't record actual MIDI into the track. So let's go. I'll just start playback and I'll bring up the levels to where I like, basically. Right? Here we go. Yeah, I think that might work a lot better. Now, if I want to edit this, I can just, like I showed you, go into the automation panel and fine tune this a bit. And don't let this confuse you. What we have in view now is the piano part. And no matter what I click here or there, I still have the piano part. What you need to do is go to the bass track, and that'll bring up the automation that we just recorded for the bass. So I'll just delete a couple of these points, fine tune this a bit. And delete these. And of course, I could have just drawn this automation in, but doing it like this actually feels a bit more natural. So I'm going to do the same thing for the piano. I think this is a nice level, so I'll just delete this point and use this as our new reference. And there we go. So that is how you write automation in real time straight into the automation lanes.